I didn't want to make this video, but I gotta do it. My wife and I purchased a 2025 Brinkley Model Z Air 295 travel trailer. It was built in 9 of 2024, so September, and we just took delivery. We didn't personally like spec it or anything, but we bought it last week on the 28th of April. So now it's May 5th. It's been a week. Took delivery on Saturday. I think that's the 28th probably, at 11 p.m. So basically almost Sunday. Hooked my truck. He dropped it off. Hooked my trailer or my truck up to it. Let it sit the street. And in the morning, I moved it 50 feet on the side of the driveway. Leveled it all out. Made sure that all worked. I was told before I got the trailer, they warrantied one of the feet that come down. One of them wasn't coming down. I think they might have been like a recall on them or something, but I was fixed. And so I got it all leveled out. And first thing I did was look the camper over. Everything looked great. Inside looked good, outside looked good. Just beautiful camper overall. Like Brinkley's hands down, they make a dang good interior and exterior camper. So from there, I checked the slides, the heating system. Before I connected the water system, I was looking in the back in the sliding doors there. They got behind the control panel for all your sewage line controls and all that kind of stuff. And there's a pump back there, guessing the water pump. There's a hose in and a hose out, and there's a white one. And it was completely disconnected. So both Bish's, who we bought from, and Brinkley missed this hose being connected. Don't know how, but it's not Bish's fault, I don't think, because it's a winterized system. They don't need to touch that. Like that's on the owner to, plug in, de-winterize, all that kind of stuff, because you don't want your lines freezing if it's going to sit there for a while, which I totally get. So to me, it's kind of on Brinkley for getting to connect a really important hose there. So if you connect your sprinkler line or run something, it's going to spray water everywhere. So luckily I connected that back in real fast. You push it in, make sure it's seated, and then tighten it up. So then used from my house, little spigot, ran a hose to their extension hose, ran the system, made sure the hot water worked, flushed all the systems out. Everything was working great. Hot water heater worked good. Fans worked, ACs worked, didn't check the TVs, but quality control, everything looked great. Disconnected all the hoses for the water, just the water hose basically. And then put the slides in, because overnight we were supposed to get a bunch of rain. So I was like, I'm gonna seal it up, see what happens. Usually people will keep their slides out, but I was like, I'm getting those slides in, keeping it as tight as possible to just make sure there's no serious leaks when going down the road traveling. So nothing's connected, slides are in, everything's locked up. And one more thing I noticed before that, the front door it's got a magnet that keeps it open on the side of the camper. The door is like warped a little bit. This happens with campers apparently. But it doesn't, the magnet doesn't keep the door open, just like the little thing they have keeps it open. Not a big deal for me, but the main thing was the door latch is just a little finicky. Put the keypad in, push lock. While it's locking, like before it starts, you gotta really push the door in and hold it there for the lock to really slide in and actually latch the door. So I heard a lot of people are getting their doors flying open when they're going down the road. Happened to mine too, from Billings to Bozeman. So mine came from Cheyenne. So he said the door was just doing this a little bit because that latch wasn't working all the way. I think it just needs adjusted a little bit in, or just adjusted a little bit. And then my keys were a little sticky on it, but I think some other people have been having problems with that. So definitely had the door's not shutting like really tight unless you really push it in, and it can come loose at some point. To lock it, you really have to put the keypad in, press lock, keep pressure on it, then that pin will go through. So that aside, to the good stuff. Rained overnight, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna check my camper in the morning, see if there's any leaks. So open everything up, make sure there's no leaks on the inside. Noticed one leak on the inside, everything else is good otherwise. The bathroom fan leaked, and jumping ahead a little bit, Brinkley took care of that. There was probably a crack in it from just sitting or something. It's just, they're fans, they happen. And then they go on every other camper. So warranty did that. That's gonna be in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, which is pretty long because you can order online and get it in like three days probably, 2-3 days. So that's a little slow on Brinkley there. It took like 5 days to get Brinkley's approval for most of this stuff. So a little slow, personally, for my situation. So that was the only issue inside, and it was coming off towards the shower end on the corner. And when I was traveling to the dealer also, it was leaking, so they could see, because Brinkley likes to have a bunch of photos apparently, but about the size of your hands put together on a puddle on the ground coming from that bathroom vent, the max fan, I think they call it. Other than that, inside was good. Nothing looked terrible. Outside, back looked good, side looked good. The only issue was that front area. I opened that front area and I like, cross my fingers, everything's good, thinking everything's good. You open the door and there's a huge puddle in the center of it. If I'm able to put photos up here, I will, otherwise it'll be on my Instagram. So there's a huge puddle on the inside of the double door pass-through on the front. Your connections are for your sewerage and all that stuff and the battery controls. It all, because it's a leveled trailer, it all pooled in one area. I was thinking it was from the hose reel, like maybe the hose reel is bad, it has a crack in it and just leaked all the water out. Possibly, I don't know. To me, there was no water around the door area at all, or the seals, or like when you open the door, pop it up. There was nothing like, no water on the bottom or anything like that. It was literally just in the center and then running along the bedroom side wall there. And then there's a little 90-degree turn and it really like to pool in there. And there's a photo, I guess you'll see it. So I put a towel over that immediately, soaked that up, called my dealer guys like, hey, I sent them the photos. He's like, yeah, get it in ASAP. So I took it within the hour, I got it down to them. They were able to look at it really fast. And their service guy contacted me to make sure that, just to get the download of what I did to it. So basically I just said, hey, I connected the hose from my house to the extender hose, connected it up, ran the system, disconnected the hose, packed everything up, closed the doors, closed the sides in. It rained, came out the morning, saw this. He's like, okay. And then I think I checked on, that was Monday. So Sunday to Monday. Tuesday, and I think Wednesday I contacted them just to be like, hey, do you guys have any info? And they said they requested warranty on the fan, and they tried to find the leak in the front and they couldn't find the leak, but they requested for them to do sealing along the front. So they requested to Brinkley for them to do that. So they have to get request. Brinkley has to accept it for them to do it. And then I think I checked back on Thursday or Friday, when I guess Friday, and they got approval from Brinkley for the fan, which was ordered. And I think that's going to be on this month, which is the 5th, May 5th, it's gonna be the 16th, 15th or 16th, it's gonna come in, so pretty slow on that. And then the front, they ended up sealing the front. So they sealed basically the whole, like take the camper in half, so camper, half, this is the front. They basically sealed that whole front area with caulking all around the front, everywhere they could find. And they thought that would fix the problem, so they threw it in the back of their lot, waiting on that fan to be ordered. And on Sunday, Sunday we're getting rain. So today is Monday. I was like, it's raining outside, so let's go check the camper out and see if it's still leaking. They were gracious enough to let me go in the back and be like, yeah, go check it out. Because they had no idea. They caulked it, put it in the back, waiting for the part. So they never thought about checking to see if it was still leaking. So I went back there, opened the compartment, and it was leaking. And it wasn't pooling like it usually does. Because the camper was on dirt and it probably had a little bit more tongue weight on it. So most of the water was actually going towards that front panel now, but it was actually all around all panels, but it really wasn't pooling in the center. I have my power cord in the center there and there's definitely water around that. So there's definitely a lot of water still getting in. It's a lot too. It's a lot of water. Like at first it's like, I know like everyone says it's a camper, it's a camper. Being a first time camper guy, I knew there was going to be some things, but I didn't think there was going to be like this massive water leak, especially from Brinkley, a brand that, highly says something about that kind of stuff, rave about it. And I know 99% of all the stuff they make is probably perfect. I just happen to be that 1% today. So it is what it is. I got the 1% Brinkley. And I really thought it wasn't going to be me, but it ended up being me. It's a gorgeous camper. The inside's gorgeous, the outside's gorgeous. I still love the brand. We looked at Jayco. Jayco makes good stuff, but nothing looks like a Brinkley or feels like a Brinkley. I paint houses for a living, so their caulking work is actually really good on the inside. They missed one little spot that could have been just from the caulking drying and then the gap being there. But I'm not going to judge them for that. But I thought that if the Brinkley caulking guys watching this, you do a heck of a job. Very good job at your caulking job around everything I could see. But just the biggest thing eating at me right now is there could possibly be mold at this point. Like, you don't know. We've had water in there for at least a week. We don't know how long it's been doing it. So us having a 10-month-old and just a family in general, you do not want mold anywhere near your kid or you. So I'm worried about mold with the amount of water that's been in there and soaking up on those panels and just the stuff you can't see. I know their floorboards are watertight, but if I'm the 1%, I got to be kind of skeptical because I'm not supposed to be having any kind of water at all in there. If it was just a little bit, I'd be cool, whatever. But the amount of water that's in there, it's like, it's kind of inexcusable. And the fact that we can't find it is really, I looked inside there too, like it makes no sense where this water's coming from. I can't figure it out. Like you look up, there's no like drips coming from anywhere. It's literally just the bottom and around the skirting, and I can't pull the little doors off because that'll probably void the warranty, so I gotta have the dealer do it. It seems like this dealer guy Bish's did a great job. The service guy seems like he's doing a really good job with it. No complaints with Bish's, literally it happens. You know, from the manufacturer, it happens. And I totally get that. There's a couple guys on YouTube I watched with Brinkley. They go pretty hard on Brinkley, like dissing them and stuff. And their music is a little bit much, guys. I'm gonna be honest, your music's a little bit much. So it's kind of hard to believe. I know there's customers, I'm one of the customers, I guess now apparently, the 1%, but I don't think Brinkley's deserves all that hate. I think they're doing a good job so far with the warranty stuff. The ceiling fan, cool, whatever. It's the major leak that's the problem with me. I can't have that front compartment leaking all the time if I'm gonna have batteries in there, anything in there really, and then the potential for mold. So my hope, I would love for Brinkley, given I've had the camper for 24 hours, dropped off in my driveway, 50 feet to the dealer. I just want, best case, I would love for Brinkley to just be like, hey, we'll come bring you another trailer down, we'll connect yours up, and we'll go find where that leak's coming from, because it's a big leak. Like, there's a lot of water in there, and they're not huge rainstorms. The one kind of was, the second one wasn't huge, kind of typical rainstorm. And it was the same amount of water, just different areas pretty much. Maybe a touch less, but I don't know if it's draining out somewhere. So, but what I think will happen is Brinkley will, I think Bish's, they've been great. I think they'll look for it a second time. My guess is they won't find it again, and they'll contact Brinkley about it. And that's where I'm kind of, I don't know what Brinkley's gonna do. I just hope I get a dry camper. I just want a dry camper. Is that hard to, I don't know. I should end this up, but that's our experience so far. I'll keep you guys updated. That's all I got wise right now. So we're just waiting. We literally have plans coming up in, not next week, but the next week we got to be at a campsite that we paid for. So it gets into that thing where it's like, I had it for 24 hours. Sometimes they do like I don't even know. Sometimes they do like you got like 72 hours to make sure everything's working good, and then you can just, I don't know. I think Bish's has this thing where it's like 72 hours and you can decide to swap your camper. I don't know. I don't even know, but they won't do that because I've had it longer than their recommended 72-hour thing. But I really hope Brinkley will be a little quicker with the warranty work. It's pretty slow right now, and I get it. They're busy. There's a lot of campers out there, but I'm literally a brand new customer. Within 24 hours, had a huge leak issue, and nobody can figure it out. So that's where I'm at. So I'll keep you guys updated with more when I know more, and I hope I just don't get screwed by the end. So that's all. Have a good day.